Forget my voice. I'm just getting over being sick. And the baby may make some noise in the background. Imagine a young girl at the age of 11 wondering why her daddy died and if he was in heaven. She was a broken young woman who had seen too much, grew up sophisticated, educated, but her heart couldn't be touched. You see, the man that she knew wasn't the man that he was. He was a facade of a father who gave fraudulent love. She remembered her mother's tears and all those nights spent alone. Daddy was gone, always another woman's home. But you see, at the time she didn't think it sink in. She didn't realize that the adulterous lifestyle would begin. In her mind at the time, her father seemed just fine. His actions seemed justified, but she didn't see the signs. Never thought in her life that her heart would turn cold. She's seeking out her father and the men that she'd hold. Her coming of age, it wasn't coming at all. In fact, this young woman stumbled and she fell through her fall. But the fall wasn't forward, the fall was all back. The mistakes in her relationships only threw her off track. But this woman, she guarded her heart she once knew. It's the heart she gave her father when he turned 22. When the old man died, her heart was buried in the ground. She never went back for it, because he wasn't around. So as she got older, she found herself colder. A teen convinced that love was legs on someone's shoulders. 3 years of abuse is what she endured. Wanted to be the one to save him, but she never could. So she put up with the fights, she put up with the games, she put up with the women, 28 different names. Just come home to me, she said. She thought she'd be strong, but every night all she thought about was her mom and all the pain that she went through, and she can't get it back. How she wished that her mother had never put up with that. So she packed all her shit and she walked out the door, but it would never go back to what it was before, because her father, he had ruined her, and this man had too. So she went back to doing the only thing that she knew. She moved from man to man with her newborn baby girl, knew no responsibilities, not a care in the world, seeking out love in all the wrong places, living small town life, every night familiar faces. None of those men could give her what she thought she needed, called her every day because the sex didn't feed it. She let him all use her and she took it all in, never realized she was suffering with her torment and sin. She masked the pain with the parties and the parties with the job, go to work, leave her kid, and then she'd come home and sob. Until 4 years later, when her second kid was born, married the boy who knocked her up so that she wouldn't be scorned by her family, who was worried. As judgmental as they seemed, she knew they wanted the best for her and watched her make her dreams. But by then she knew the damage had been done. She knew there was nothing left, and she'd never find the one, because men were all ignorant, men were all pigs, men were all the blame for all the things that she did. So she settled in a marriage in which she didn't believe, and this young and damaged woman ran out of tricks up her sleeve. Depression had taken over and she forgot how to survive. The only thing that kept her breathing was looking in her children's eyes. Suddenly she remembered the look her mother used to give, the look that said, "I'm sorry I did this to you kids," and she realized in the moment that everything that she went through, and that her father was the role model for what she was supposed to do. It was an equivocal reality about the men she chose to pick, and the picture of her past did nothing but make her sick, because she wished she had someone who would never let her down, a man who keeps his promise when he said he won't let her drown, a role model for her children, a role model for herself, a role model for all the women out there who need to know there's help. But until then, it's time for her to move on. 28 years and counting, but the damage has been done.